Sup, you guys? ASD Classified here. So, Power Rangers 2017 movie. I've seen it. I saw the movie Thursday night. My thoughts? It was great. It was good. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was so funny. It was hilarious. It was exciting. It was everything that I wanted to see from a Power Ranger movie. Well, not everything, but, you know, it did a good job. It was good. I love this movie. And I am so glad that I can actually say that I loved this movie. I loved it. It was so good. Like, you know that the show has not been great for a long time. Like, you know, the show, you know, not since 2009 has the show really been spectacular. So, you know, and this current season is awful. So, I really needed this movie. I needed this movie to be good, and it was good. And I'm so glad I can say that I am so proud to be a Power Ranger fan right now. You don't understand. I love this movie so much. Oh my goodness. Thank God it's good. Thank goodness it is a good film. And I want my 5 sequels. I want my 5 sequels. You hoes better get out there and watch this movie. Watch it again if you can. I want my sequels. But yeah, this movie was good. I honestly don't know what I'm going to talk about. Really. Because like I didn't like, normally I kind of sort of plan out in my head like what I'm going to talk about in these videos. I don't really know. It's just going to be all over the place. So deal with it. But yeah. Oh my goodness, this movie. So yeah, there's going to be spoilers. So if you have not watched this movie yet, then go ahead and watch the movie first and then come back and hear my thoughts, you know, if you care. But yeah, this movie, amazing. As I've said 20,000 times. But what I love the most about this movie, besides the fact of how funny it is, because this movie is so freaking funny. I did not expect this movie to be as funny as it was. It's hilarious. But aside from that, it's the Rangers. It's how they interact with each other. Like, I love that. That's what makes this movie for me. Like, I love all 5 of these Power Rangers. Like, they are awesome. And I loved it. And like the movie took these 5 teenagers who were very different from each other and who didn't even know each other, and it showed us how they met and how they became friends and how they became family to each other, really. And it was done in a really cool and, you know, really not super cheesy way. You know what I mean? Like, it was done like in a way like, oh yeah, like realistic, I guess. Like, I can see how these teenagers became friends. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't done in a super cheesy, corny way. Like, oh, hey, hi, let's save the world together now. Like, you know, it took them time to get to know each other and care about each other. And they took the time to show that in this movie. And I really appreciate that. Like, that's what made this movie for me, man. That and how fucking funny this movie is. Like, my God. I can't even remember all the jokes in this movie, but it was so funny. Like, there was one part where, like, you know, the Rangers met Zach, and Jason was like, hey, you went to Angel Grove High, right? Like, you still go there? And Zach was like, sometimes. I'm like, okay. And then, like, when the Rangers met Alpha, that was a mess. Alpha was a fool in this movie. But yeah, when the Rangers met Alpha, and he was like, hey, you guys, you're the ones that found the 5 power coins, you know, different colored coins with different colored people. I'm like, oh my God. Alpha was a mess, man. And then Alpha kind of like forced the Rangers to go meet Zordon and stuff, like. And the Rangers were like, you know, they don't know what Alpha is. Alpha looks like a fucking monster in this movie. So the Rangers, they don't know what the hell he is. And they're like, okay, the second we get a chance, we gotta run for it. And I think Train was like, well, what if we don't get a chance to run for it? And then Zach was like, well, then we kill the son of a bitch. I'm like, yes. I don't know what the fuck this thing is. And after Alpha just dragged Trainee across the whole goddamn ship, yeah, it'd probably be best to kill him. I don't. But yeah, the movie is funny. The action was good. Like, I really loved it. Like, we had Rita having, you know, fight scenes with the Rangers unmorphed, and that was pretty good. They were kind of short. Like the fight scene where Rita fought all 5 of the Rangers, it was kind of short, but I still enjoyed it. It was cool. The Rangers, when they were morphed, they had a really good fight scene with all the putties. Like that action was good. That was top notch. And then when the Rangers were in their Zord and they were fighting Golda, the action was really good there too. I love the Zord action. So the action was on point, man, with this movie. I loved it, man. Oh, this fucking movie. Alright, so back to the Rangers. So, you know, after the Rangers met Alpha and Zordon and blah, 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 Zordon told them, hey, you're Power Rangers and stuff. And he also told them the 3 rules of being a Power Ranger. Zordon's 3 rules, which I was surprised that they kept, you know, from the TV show. You know, never use your powers for personal gain. Never escalate a battle unless Rita forces you to. And finally, keep your identity a secret. No one may know that you're a Power Ranger. You know, you gotta follow those 3 rules or you lose the protection of the power. Surprised they kept those rules. But after that, you know, Zordon was like, I gotta train you hoes because Rita's coming. She is coming. And she gonna fuck up everything. So the Rangers have to train in order to use their powers. They also have to train to morph. In general, like morphing in this movie was not easy. Like saying it's morphin' time and you morphed, or you shifting the turbo, or you let's rocket. It's not as easy as just saying a morph call. You had to like believe in the heart of the cards or some shit. It was kind of corny, but they made it work with this movie. Like pretty much the Rangers had to really come together as like a team. They had to feel like family in order to access their powers. So they had to. Zordon had them training in the pit, Zordon's torture chamber. He had them in the pit where he, you know, had them fight like holographic putties, and they were training and learning martial arts, and Alpha was there to help them. Like Alpha got these Rangers in the shape, boy. Like the Rangers became martial arts experts in like 10 days. So Alpha got them Rangers into gear, you know. So they were training and they were coming good at fighting and stuff, but they still couldn't morph. So, at one point in the movie, the Rangers, like, they were just shooting the breeze at night. Like, I think they were hanging out with Zach in the woods, and they had a fire going, and they were drinking beer and shit. I think they were drinking Bud Light, Dos Stickies, something, I don't know. But whatever, they were drinking beer. And I think Zach came up with the idea, he's like, I think one way so that we can become close to each other is to share like our deepest, darkest secret or something. And that does work, you know, in real life. Like, if you tell people your deepest, darkest secret, y'all tend to become close to each other and stuff. So, Zach was like, he revealed that, like, the reason he misses school a lot is because his mom is sick, like, really sick, like, terminally ill, right? So, he's there to take care of her because he doesn't have anybody else. She doesn't have anybody else. And he was saying how if she dies, when she dies, he doesn't know what he's gonna do, and he started crying and stuff. I'm like, God damn, like this movie hit me, man. I felt it. And it's kind of like, you can look at that, and Zach, he acts a fool in this movie. Like, he's just a fun-loving, carefree guy. So it's like, well, that's kind of why you act like that. It's kind of like a coping mechanism. Like, he's just like a wild child in this movie. Like, he do reckless shit, you know? So that's kind of why you act like that, to cope with your mom being sick and stuff. I'm like, oh, shit. You know? And who else? Trainee was kind of like the odd person out here, you know? She didn't really want to be bothered with the others at first. They kind of forced her to because she pulled a power cord, so you need to be with the group. So, but yeah, she has like a lot of issues going on in her head. She doesn't feel that she can communicate with her family. She was like, her family is very traditional and they want everything to be done properly and blah, blah, blah. And she's not really like that. She does things her own way. She's not really traditional. So because of that, she feels that she can't really go to her family and tell her family how she feels about certain things. So she keeps to herself. And because she keeps to herself, her family thinks something is wrong with her. Like, maybe she's with drug dealers or something. So they're constantly, you know, trying to get to the bottom of what's wrong with her. And it's just, you know, this causes a whole mess, right? And Trainee said a whole bunch of other stuff. And Zach was like, oh, so you got boyfriend problems, huh? And she kind of like laughed it off. She's like, huh, yeah. And then he was like, girlfriend problems? And pretty much just girlfriend problems. So that's another thing. Like, her family's very traditional. And then Trainee has an attraction to girls. So, you know, this movie gave us like the first Ranger who's ever been a part of the LGBT community. And yeah, I appreciate that. That was awesome. Like, I didn't really expect this movie to do that. I remember I wanted a gay ranger for this movie. Like, I made a video, like the 6 things I want this Power Ranger movie to give me. And I said, I don't think that they will do this at all, but I want Billy to be gay in the film. Billy wasn't gay, so they didn't do that. But they made Trainee a part of that community. I don't know if she's a lesbian or if she's bisexual, and Trainee did mention something about labels in that movie, so that's why I'm not trying to put a label on Trainee, because they didn't really go that much in detail about what her sexual orientation is. But the point is, she's attracted to girls. So, never had a ranger, you know, a part of that community before, so I'm glad that they finally did that. And I saw somebody on Twitter who made a post like, it makes sense for Power Rangers to do this because Power Rangers has always been about diversity, and having a character with that kind of sexual orientation, that is a part of diversity too. So I agree with that post, and I'm glad that they did this. My only critique is that we didn't really see who this girl is that Trainee has a situationship with. I don't know if it's a relationship, but whoever it is that is messing with my girl Trainee's heart, they didn't really, you know, mention it in this movie. And also, like, in the trailer or whatever, wasn't there like a scene where somebody wrote on her locker like "die bitch" or some shit? That wasn't in this movie. I guess that's something that was cut. So maybe Trainee was also being bullied because of her sexual orientation or something. I don't know. It's not like the other Rangers would know because they really didn't pay attention to each other until they were forced to get to know each other. So, like, Kimberly thought Trainee was a new student. Like, oh yeah, you came to school like a month ago. Bitch, I've been here for like a year now. But yeah, regardless, I love the scene, and I'm glad that, you know, the writers did this. Blah blah blah. Billy. So Billy, I don't really know what was wrong with his brain because I'm not knowledgeable on that subject, so I'm not trying to mess it up. I think it was something like autism or something like that. But I love how they wrote his character. Like, he was awesome, man. He was so funny. He had a really big heart. It's like, I love Billy's character. Billy was my favorite character in this movie. He was awesome, which is why it hurt even more when Rita killed him. But yeah, he was the heart of this team, and he was awesome. And he had his little moment when they were all drinking and stuff, and he was like, you know, his dad is dead. When his dad was alive, they used to go around looking for artifacts all the time. So his dad is dead now, but he still looks for artifacts on his own. And he was like, I'm not that sad that my dad, you know, is gone, because I have you guys now, and we can have adventures together too, and you're like my, you know, second family, and blah blah blah. So, aww. And then we get to Kimberly. Kimberly didn't even want to share with the group her deepest, darkest secret, but she shared it with Jason eventually. Like, she snuck into Jason's house, like Jason was asleep, and then she just snuck in his room and woke him up. Jason! And he was like, bitch, how the hell you even get in here? She was like, I'm a superhero. But, and she was like, I think I'm the reason that we can't morph because I'm not being honest with the team. And she revealed what she did at school, because Kimberly used to be a super duper popular chick, but then she did something and now she's fallen from grace and stuff. And so she revealed what happened, right? Because throughout the movie they made it, she was pretending like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong, but the truth is she did. She fucked up, and she's just been lying about it the whole time, except that nobody's buying her lie. So what had happened was, a friend of hers shared a picture with Kim. And this picture was very, I guess, revealing. Like, we didn't see the picture, but I guess, like, the girl may have been, like, half naked, or she only had a bra and panties on, or she had some lingerie on. I don't know. But it was a very provocative picture, I guess. Kimberly was not supposed to share this picture of her friend with anybody, obviously, but she did. I guess she's the one that shared it around the school or whatever, and she shared it with her boyfriend at the time, whoever she was dating. And her boyfriend, actually being a mature teenage boy, which I'm surprised about, her boyfriend was like, girl, this is wrong. Like, you're like the meanest girl ever. Like, that was, she said, like, her boyfriend really called her like some mean, heartless bitch or some shit. And Kimberly was very offended by that, so she punched his tooth out. Oh my god. So, yeah, Kimberly got in trouble for this, obviously. And Kimberly said, like, honestly, I didn't feel any type of way about this until she was in the principal's office, and the principal showed that girl's dad the picture, and she saw how that girl's dad reacted, like seeing his daughter like that, and knowing that everybody in school had seen this picture and stuff. So that's when she started to feel bad and feel like a terrible person, and Jason had to be like, girl, you made a mistake, you fucked up. That doesn't mean that you can't still be a good person. Just start doing good now and stuff like that. So it was a very cool scene. The only thing is, Kimberly was really a bitch. Like, she was really a bitch. And I didn't expect that. Like, I really thought she was being framed. Like, sup, guys? So, after waiting almost 2 months to edit this movie review, I discovered that some of my amazing thoughts in this video are missing, and I don't know why. I don't know, maybe something with the camera or my computer, but yeah, some of the stuff is missing, so it makes my rambly review even more rambly. So I decided to record some additional stuff just to clarify my thoughts, I guess. So I was talking about Kimberly being a bitch, and I was like, well, I actually liked that Kimberly started off as a bitch and then she grew to be a better person, you know, so that was cool. Then I moved on to talking about, I guess, the backstory between Zordon and Rita. So Rita was once a Power Ranger herself. She was the Green Ranger, and she was a part of Zordon's team. And Zordon was the Red Ranger. Ooh. So 65 million years ago, Zordon and Rita and the rest of the Ranger team were on Earth for some reason. They were on Earth, and all these Rangers, like Zordon, they're all aliens. Like, nobody's from Earth. They're all aliens, right? So Rita decides to become evil, and she betrays her team, and she kills off the rest of the Power Rangers except for Zordon. So all the others are dead. Zordon takes the power coins from his fallen comrades, and he puts some type of incantation on them. And I don't know, some type of thing to make only people who are worthy can get the power coins now. When he puts his incantation on them, like, you know, to whoever may be worthy shall possess the power of Thor. So yeah, he puts his incantation on them, puts them on the ground, and then he has to contend with Rita, and Rita wants something called a Zeo Crystal. And she's like, Zordon, you fool. We could have had the Zeo Crystal and used this power to rule the universe together and blah, blah, blah. And Zordon's like, bitch, fuck you. And then he had Alpha from space, like, drop an asteroid on the planet, and that destroyed all the dinosaurs, and I guess it destroyed Zordon and Alpha too. Huh. Interesting. So, I guess the writers had watched Dino Charge and took notes. I don't know. Whatever. Mentors destroying the dinosaurs. But yeah. 65 million years later, like, the spaceship is buried in the ground. Then we have the 5 teenagers, like, you know, Billy and stuff. One day, they ended up at this mountainside, this restricted area. Billy done blew up half the damn mountain, and he discovered that the power coins were encased in there, because again, Billy, he likes to look up old artifacts and shit. So yeah, all 5 of these teenagers, they got the power coins. They were able to pick them up because they're chosen by the morphing grid. Okay. The Rangers eventually they discover the spaceship, Alpha spaceship, and they use the power of the power coins to awake Zordon or some shit. Yeah. All of this was kind of confusing, is what I'm gonna say. Like, I don't mind the fact that they did this backstory this way. I actually like that part of it. I like the backstory of Rita betrayed the Rangers 65 million years ago or whatever, and had most of them killed and stuff. I don't mind that. The problem kind of comes in the present time when the Rangers discover the power coins and stuff. This is where the issue starts, because it's like the Rangers discover the power coins, and then conveniently fishermen discover the body of Rita Repulsa. Like she was in the water, they fish her out, and her body looks like some dried up corpse and shit. And then it awakens, and Rita starts killing people. And that's kind of weird to me, because it's like, is she awakening only because the teenagers found the power coins, or would she have awakened anyway just because somebody fished her out of the water? That kind of was weird, and it wasn't explained well. I don't know. I would hope that it's because she's awakening because the other Rangers, you know, the teenagers, they found the power coins. I would think it's because of that, but I don't know. The show didn't really explain that. I mean, Rita clearly had a connection to the other Rangers because she's still a Power Ranger and has the power coin, but I don't know, the movie didn't do a good enough job explaining that part to me, you know. And also Zordon. So Alpha put Zordon's brain into the ship, I guess. So Zordon, his essence is now a part of the ship, because I guess technically he did die and Alpha just put his brain into the ship, so that's why his head is like coming out of the ship and shit, because yeah. And the movie, like it said that Zordon, like, he didn't awake at all. So for 65 million years, Zordon, his brain is in the ship, but the ship has been asleep or whatever, and they can only awaken the ship and awaken Zordon with the power coins. So Alpha had to wait 65 million years for somebody to find the power coins and use that energy to wake up Zordon. Okay. I don't know. I mean, it kind of feels weird to me. It's like, I don't know how to explain why this feels weird to me. It's more like, why would Alpha just stay there for 65 million years? Like, does nothing on the ship work? That's what I'm saying. Like, is it just that Zordon can't wake up until all 5 of the power cores come back? Or is it that nothing on the ship works? And maybe I need to watch the movie again to try to understand that part. Because, like, if the ship still works, then why would you just sit there for 65 million years? Can't y'all just fly to somewhere else and then get an alert? Like, okay, somebody's found the power coins, let's fly back to Earth and then meet these kids then. Why would you just sit there that entire time? I don't know. But Alpha's a robot, so it's not like it's gonna bother him that much to sit there for 65 million years. But still, Zordon was a bit of a dick in this movie, and honestly, this isn't a part of the flaw. I like the fact that Zordon was a bit of a dick in this movie. He should be. He was killed, and then he has to rely on these teenagers that don't know nothing. I don't blame that. And he wanted to use the Rangers to revive himself. So, with the powers of the morphing grid, and I'm going to get back to that because that's the flaw I'm going to talk about. So, with the morphing grid, if the Rangers can morph into, you know, their Power Ranger suits, then they will unleash enough energy in the morphing grid that Zordon could revive himself. And that was his real plan. He was just using these teenagers. Like, if you guys can actually morph, then y'all will give the morphing grid enough power that I can revive myself, and then I'll just take over and take the Red Ranger powers back and blah, 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 blah. That's what he wanted to do, right? He didn't get a chance to do that because Rita actually killed Billy in this, and then after that, the Rangers, they mourned him. In mourning Billy's death, they became so close that they were the Power Rangers. They could access that power then, and then they brought enough energy in the morphing grid that Zordon could have used that energy to revive himself, but he decided to use that energy to revive Billy instead. And apparently, you can only do this revival shit with the morphing grid only one time. So he used it with Billy. That was his only chance. That was Zordon's only chance to revive, and he used it to bring Billy back to life instead. How sweet. My only critique is the morphing grid itself. The movie didn't really explain the morphing grid and the Ranger powers as well as it probably should have. That's my critique. Like, when I was watching the movie and they kept saying morphing grid, morphing grid, morphing grid, it just flew over my head because I'm used to watching Power Rangers. You know, I watch Power Rangers almost all my life, so I know what the morphing grid is. But if you are making this new movie and you got moviegoers that you know don't know what the morphing grid is, I feel like you should take the time to explain that to them. The movie didn't. It just said power coins connected to the morphing grid, and yeah, that was it. I think you should explain the morphing grid a little more. So, okay, what are the flaws? What are the flaws? The Zord fight. Let's talk about that. I think I need to explain the Zeo Crystal first. So, the Zeo Crystal in the movie universe is different than the Zeo Crystal in the show. So, the Zeo Crystal here, like every planet with life has a Zeo Crystal. And the Zeo Crystals have unparalleled power, blah, 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 blah. And Rita wants to, you know, have the Zeo Crystal on Earth. She wants to take it. But once you extract a planet's Zeo Crystal, the planet dies and the people on the planet, the life on the planet dies with it. So, very bad. So, Rita creates a monster out of gold to try to rip the Zeo Crystal from the planet, right? She creates Goldar. Yeah, Goldar, giant-sized monster, fighting the Rangers and the Zords. At one point, Like, there's this fiery crevice where the Zeo Crystal is, and Goldar is pushing the Rangers' Zords into the crevice, right? The Rangers are losing the Zord battle, right? And they almost died. They felt they were going to die. Like, they could barely breathe because of the fire and the heat. And I think Jason said at one point, like, nobody dies alone. Like, the Rangers were really prepared to die. And that shit got me, man. But Goldar pushes the Zords into that fiery pit, and the Rangers come back out because all 5 of the Zords form into a Megazord. So the flaw here is that the Rangers could have been done this. I mean, I don't blame the Rangers for not doing it immediately because they're new at this. Why would they know that the Zords can come together as one? But guess who does know? Zordon. And Zordon did not help them at any point during the Zord battle. He wasn't giving them any advice, nothing. The Rangers were on their own completely against the Putties and against Goldar. No help from Zordon. I swear. So I guess the movie writers were also watching Megaforce because they took notes from Ghostface. There was no help from the mentor during the martial fights. None. It just felt weird to me. Like, maybe if it was the power of the Zeo Crystal that gave the Zords the energy to combine, that would be one thing. But the movie didn't say that, and I don't think that's what happened. I think the Zords just brought themselves together because they can do that. And Zordon never felt the need to tell the Rangers that the Zords can come together. So I don't know. If it was the Zeo Crystal's power that put them together, well, the movie should have explained that better. So, another small flaw might be with Rita herself. I liked Rita in this movie. Like, Elizabeth Banks' performance was fine. I think the only thing is that, like, I kind of expect the villain to be, like, one of the most standout parts of the movie, and Rita wasn't in this. Rita was good, but she wasn't like, oh my god, stand out and amazing and stuff. No, I love the Rangers more, and I love Billy. Billy is the one that stole the show. So, yeah. Rita was good. I kind of expect more from my villains. And then when I look back on, like, the 90s movies, like, the villains are the ones that stood out, like Ivan Ooze and Divatox, and both those villains had quotables for days, you know? Like, when Tommy came up to Ivan Ooze talking about, we're the Power Rangers, I was like, oh, where's my autograph book? Power Rangers! So Zordon's still using a bunch of kids to do his dirty work. You know, lines like that. Or from Divatox, like when the Rangers killed her fiance. She was like, no, the power, the money, the jewels, the plastic surgery. I didn't even get a honeymoon. Like, you know, shit like that always stuck out for me. But in this movie, Rita didn't really have that many, like, super spectacular and funny lines. She has some. I'm not gonna diss her that much. She has some. But it wasn't, like, as many as the 90s movies. And I will defend this movie with this explanation. This movie, it had to juggle a lot of characters. Like, it had to introduce us to all of these characters. Like, you have to explain, who is this new Jason? Who is this new Billy? Who is this new Kimberly? Who is this new Zach? Who is this new trainee? They had to explain all 5 of the Rangers. Had to explain Zordon and Alpha. Had to explain Rita. They had a lot of characters to explain. Whereas in the 90s movies, we already know who those Rangers are if you watch the TV show. So the movies wasn't taking any time to explain who Tommy is. We already know who the fuck Tommy is. We're not explaining it. Watch the show. The villains were the ones who were new in those movies. So they took more time to explain them and give them good lines. So I get that. Still though, I think they could have did a little more with Rita. You know, had her do more, had her fight more maybe. So I like when she came in the trainee's room and fought. That was a pretty good fight. My only question is, how did Trainee's parents not hear what was going on? Like, they literally cracked the wall, like big old cracks. Like, they bounced into the walls and shit. How did Trainee's parents, how did her brothers not hear anything? But anyway, that fight happened and it was great. And I love the dialogue in there. Like, Trainee thought she was doing something. Like, Rita was like, have you morphed yet? Trick question. If you could morph, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. Trainee said, bitch, I don't need to morph to whoop your ass. It's like, oh, yes you do. Like, Trainee really thought she had the upper hand. Like, she was choking Rita. Rita was like, oh no, you're too strong. Like, get your weak ass off me, bitch. I love that. Or that part where trainee killed Billy, because Billy actually figured out where the Zeo crystal was located, and I guess through Rita's connection to the morphin grid, she could sense that one of these newbie rangers knew where the Zeo crystal was. So she captured all 5 of them, and then she made Billy tell her where the Zeo crystal was. The Zeo crystal is located at a Krispy Kreme. Rita was ridiculous. Like, Krispy Kremes? Oh yes, of course. That name, it sounds worthy to hide such a power. Rita, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway. So after Billy told Rita where the Zeo crystal was, Rita was like, well, Zordon would look down on me if I didn't kill you. Well, at least kill one of you. And then she killed Billy. She drowned him. And then she left. And the Rangers, like, they tried to pull him out the water in time, but it was too late. He died. That's a terrible way to die, man. Drowning. But, yeah. In true Power Ranger villain fashion, Rita could have killed all of them, but didn't. Why would you not kill the rest of them? But whatever, okay. Yo, so another critique of mine that's missing from the original review is, I guess, when the Rangers defeated Goldar and the Megazord, and then Rita, regular sized Rita, tried to attack the Rangers, and the Rangers Megazord just bitch slapped her off the planet. That was one of the best parts of this movie. It was amazing. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to own this movie. I don't know, me personally, I don't know if there's any other flaws. There's other nitpicky things I could say. Like, there was a part where Billy completely fucked up his mom's van and it was never brought up again. At least not by his mom. Like, how the fuck you fuck up your mom's van and she don't ever bring it up? Billy, your mom is black. That would have been brought up. But whatever, the movie just forgot about it. That's a nitpicky thing, I don't really care about that. But when I saw the movie, I did read one bad review. Like, I haven't read anybody's reviews, really, because I wanted to get my thoughts out first. And then I'll start looking at other people's reviews and whatever. But I did read this one bad review just to see what people are hating on, you know. And one critique was that there was no Ranger morph suit action until, like, the last 20 minutes. Honestly, for me, I didn't really even care about that. Like, I was so engaged with the story and the characters and how funny it was. I didn't really care that it took that long to morph. I didn't really notice. Like, oh shit, it did take 20 minutes, huh? 20 minutes to the end. I didn't really care. It's a stark difference to the Turbo movie where it's like, oh my god, will y'all somebody morph, somebody fight, please. Because the movie was boring. But this movie was fun. I didn't really care. Like, they spent all that time making us love these characters. So when they do morph and fight, we care about them. Like, I was on the edge of my seat when these Rangers were prepared to die from Goldar. So I don't really care that it took that long. I think my critique with the Ranger stuff is that it could have been more than what it is. I don't care that it took that long to get there, but once you got there, you could have did a lot more than, you know, what you actually did. Like, in the actual fight with the Rangers and the putties and stuff, Jason is the only one that has a power weapon. He has the power sword. He was slicing and dicing these hoes. But the other Rangers don't have a power weapon. They don't even have, like, a blade blaster. Like, you know, you didn't give them nothing. That's weird to me. Like, the weapons don't have to be exactly the same as they were in the TV show. But I would have loved to see, like, a power axe or something like that. Or give the other Rangers something. That's all I'm saying. You know? And the Zord fight with Goldar, I did like it. It could have been a little more spectacular, you know. But, you know, I'm just saying. You know, or I kind of wish maybe Rita could have fought the Rangers more. I do like that Rita fought at all. But I feel like maybe she could have fought the Rangers, like, in their suits or something like that. That could have been something. I'm just saying. I did. Let me mention that scene where Rita was making Goldar. Rita was making Goldar, right? And she said, you know, her phrase, "Make my monster growl." And then the people in the audience was like, "Oh shit, I see what you did there, bitch. Yes." It was so fun watching this movie with an audience. Like, watching this with people who grew up on Mighty Morphin, it was so fun. It was hilarious. Because every time the movie would do some callback to the old show, people were like, "Oh shit, I remember that shit, man." But I do have a nitpicky critique on that. I don't know why I did quotes. It's very nitpicky. A very nitpicky critique on Rita saying, "Make my monster grow." I would have preferred if she said, "Make my Goldar grow. Make my Goldar grow. Yeah, this is another thing that is missing from my video for some reason, so I have to record something new. So yeah, I would have preferred Rita to say make my Goldar grow instead of make my monster grow, because that's what she used to say in the TV show. Whenever she would make Goldar grow, it was just make my Goldar grow, not make my monster grow. So yeah, nitpicky, but I kind of would have preferred that in the movie. When the audience saw Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson, like, they lost their damn minds. I'm like, oh shit, bitch, Tommy, Kim, oh Lord. Like, man, that was a sight to see, man. Oh, I loved it. I'm glad that they were in there. I mean, they, you know, it was just a little cameo. It was cute, though. They were just taking a picture of the Zord, of the Megazord. That was cute. And Billy in that Megazord making it dance and shit. That was cute, too. Oh shit, oh shit, we beat Rita, oh yeah. I love this movie, man. This movie, good job. I hope that in the sequels, they'll explain more about how the powers were made and the morphin grid, and they'll explain more how Rita became evil and turned against Zordon and the others, because I feel like there is so much more story there. That's why they planned a 6-story arc. So, for things that they didn't completely explain in this movie, it doesn't ruin my enjoyment, because this is not where the movie is supposed to stop. It's supposed to keep going. So, until we have all 6 of those movies, I'm not tripping. And can't wait for the sequel where we have Tommy. Oh yes, because Tommy Oliver is going to be in Angel Grove High too. So I wonder how they're going to write that, man. I just can't wait. Oh, and one more thing with the Zeo Crystal. This is another sort of kind of flawed thing. So after they beat Goldar and Rita and shit, Rita was like, you think just because you beat me you're safe? I came for the Zeo Crystal. Others will come for the Zeo Crystal. And Jason was like, and we'll whoop their ass too, bitch. And it's just, but, like, I see what you're doing here, movie, with the sequel bait. Others will come for the Zeo Crystal. Okay, but it's been 65 million years. In 65 million years, no one has come for the Zeo Crystal. And now y'all saying people gonna come for the Zeo Crystal now. Why? Why? It's weird. Nobody else has showed up for it, but now because you've decreed it, all of a sudden like, maybe Lord Zedd and the Machine Empire are gonna show up now. I just don't. What? We'll see. We'll see how they write the sequels. I know I'm getting a sequel. I know it. I'm hoping that the movie does really, really, really well this weekend. But yeah. Alright guys, I'm done. I've talked for a really long time. I know I have. This is gonna be a beast to edit. Hopefully, I mean, it's gonna be random, but hopefully it'll be not too random that people can understand my babbling. But yeah, I love the movie. Like I said earlier, like I made a video a while back talking about the 6 things I want to see in a Power Ranger movie, and I think this movie like did 5 out of 6. Like it gave me a ranger in the LGBT community. I mean, I wanted it to be Billy, but we got Trainee. That's good. That's whatever. Okay, you gave me one. I wanted the action to be good, no point, and violent, and that was that. I wanted to see like the police or the military try to stop Rita. There was like one police officer that tried to shoot Rita, and that didn't work out for him. So we gave you that. I wanted to see Rita fight, and Rita did throw down and fight. So, you know. And I wanted a backstory between Zordon and Rita, and we got one. So really, yeah, you did it for me, movie. The only thing you didn't give me was, I think, monsters of the day. Like, I wanted other monsters besides Goldar and Puddish. So I am disappointed in that. I remember I tweeted like some weeks ago, like, if this movie is just gonna be the Rangers fighting Goldar and Puddish, I'm gonna be disappointed. And this movie is the Rangers fight Puddish and Goldar. I'm a little disappointed. But it doesn't matter, because all the other stuff in this movie was really good. So whatever. It's like, you can do that in the sequels. You can have I Guy or whatever else show up in those movies. But yo, for what you did in this movie, like, this was amazing. And I'm proud to be a Power Ranger fan. So yeah, I'm done. If you're watching this video, let me know what you thought about this Power Ranger movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was nut? Let me know in the comments. If you would be so kind. Alright, later guys. I'm out the One more thing, so I didn't really talk about Jason that much in this video. I like the dude, like I liked all the Rangers, you know. I specifically liked the friendship that developed between him and Billy. Yeah, he did a good job of being a leader, blah, blah, blah. My only thing is, whatever feelings he's developing for Kimberly, yeah, he's really gonna be hurt in the sequels when Tommy takes his girl, but alright, later.